Right, back out with little Berry. Good girl. Now, long story short, and you'll see in a minute, she hasn't been taught, one, how to hunt, but two, that hunting is a good fun game for her to play. Okay, no fault of anybody's, she just doesn't know what I want her to do. So when I sort of cast her off and give her a high lost command or a hunt there command or whatever, she doesn't understand what I want her to do when I give her that command. Berry, come here, sweetheart. Good girl. Because she's never been shown it or taught it. Okay, so this is a blank canvas where we're analysing, we're working, we're seeing what we're dealing with, and it just means that we've got a blank canvas to start off with, which isn't a bad thing, because although she's a little bit older than a pup, okay, what the benefit is and what we do have on our side is that she hasn't got any bad habits. So that said, she doesn't know how to hunt, or she doesn't know the benefit of and the enjoyment that she can actually get out of hunting. She hasn't done anything detrimental, so we're still okay and we're still good. So although we're teaching and implementing new skills that she's never been taught or shown or learnt, we can do that very, very quickly, because the plus side, as I mentioned, is she doesn't have any bad habits that we need to undo first before we can then start to move on. So teaching a dog to get its nose down, and the benefit of doing just that. Okay, now moving on, we would need to take into account the wind direction, which way the wind is blowing, working a dog either into the wind or away from the wind or cross the wind. Okay, that's later on down the line when the dog has actually learnt how to move or quarter methodically and effectively in front of us. Okay, another habit that she seems to have is because she hasn't been taught that there's interesting things in front of us as we move along the ground. She's very, very prone to coming behind us. Okay, so I'm going to look at that as well, because obvious states here, you know, if you're looking or hunting or searching or working behind me, that's irrelevant, because I want you to find and flush and hunt in front of me, because we haven't been there, we've obviously been there. But all of those things we can iron out in time. So there's a number of different ways that you can do this. One is with food. You can show that the ground is interesting by sprinkling food on the floor. Okay, so when the dog is coming across us, we would toss a handful of food. The dog would go to our right hand side to then eat the food on the floor. We would then pick that dog to come back across us again, help the dog out by throwing another handful of food on the left. So we're teaching the dog to bounce both left and right in a quartering pattern, but methodically all it's doing subconsciously is just going to where it's seen the food land on the floor. Now, that's one way of doing it. With her, she's not a wolfer, okay? When I say she's not a wolfer, if I tossed a handful of food down on the right, it's going to take her 5 minutes to eat all the food. By the time she's spent 5 minutes eating all the food and I've gone, come on in, and then brought her back down this way, tossed another pile, there's another 5 minutes. So we're not actually teaching her the benefit of moving, we're just teaching her there's a pile on the floor and she can take her time to eat it. However, if your dog is a wolfer, it's a very, very effective way of getting that nose down and teaching that dog that there is something interesting on the floor in the areas where we direct it to and point it to. So another way that we can do is with tennis balls or little dummies or balls or whatever. All right. The reason why we use balls is because they hunker down in the grass, so they're semi-hidden in that grass. So the dog has to use its nose, not its eyes or its vision, to find out. So to make it more interesting as well, we've either got rabbit balls or tennis balls or something like that. Okay, rabbit balls speaks for itself. They're a lot more interesting. They're a lot more scent, different texture. And it's a lot more realistic for the young dog to learn about what scent of game actually is. So what we need to do is teach little Berry that one of these is interesting or one of these is interesting, because she hasn't been shown the game. Now, where is she? Berry, come on, mate. Where are you, sweetheart? Yes, come on in you come. Good girl. Come on in you come. Good girl. Good girl. We're still hand feeding her, okay, to build up the bond and build up the relationship. We're still promoting Berry, good girl, that she doesn't have to disappear off the face of the earth. So, long story short, the end result is you'll have a spaniel sitting here. Berry, come on, sweetheart, okay? In the off mode. Come on in here, sit, okay? When I want to turn the on mode, I will go, hi, Loss, and I'll cast her away. But you can see she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what high lost actually means. And she doesn't trust me that when I do say high lost, there is something there. She's just got to get her nose down and find it. So we need to start off right at the beginning by showing her that there is something there, but more importantly, showing her that this little game of her finding something, picking it up and bringing it back to me is the best game on the planet. So, Berry, come on, sweetheart, good girl. So this is not about steadiness. Go on and fetch it. This is all about her. Come on in, darling. Good girl. Hey, good girl, yes. This is all about her finding a ball fun at the moment. And we're using this relatively long grass for it to hunker down into, so she's got to use her nose, not her eyes. Berry, come on in, sweetheart. Good girl, where is it? Good girl. So I'm purposefully winding her up. I want her to see this is fun. I want her to see this as enjoyment. Hee, catch it. Good. Good girl. Good. Now to stop the showboating and to stop the circling, I'm giving her a little bit of kibble as a motivator to bring it straight back to me, okay? We can do that because we're not dealing with a spitting or a dropping issue, okay? Berry, ha, good girl, out it goes, good. Come on in, yee, good, and reward, right? Now if you notice, Berry, good girl, fetch it. I'm working, good girl, and we can, good girl, good girl. I'm not launching this 20 metres, all right? This is all within the bubble. Berry, good, there it goes, good. Here we go, good girl, yes. But now did you notice I tossed it out to the right-hand side? Berry, good girl. That one's going to go out to the left. Good girl. Good, that one's going out to the right. Good girl. So you can see how we start to imprint the dog naturally moving from left to right. Good girl. In we come. Yeah. Good girl. Good. Bit of kibble. She's working hard. Good girl. So then I'm going to feed that command into it. High loss. Good. So she hears the word. She hears the high loss command. And he's never failed. We've never failed her. Sit there. Every time she's heard that high loss command, she's always found. Good girl. Good girl. She's always found something. Good girl. Come on in. High loss. Good girl. Come on in then. Good girl. Good. And a reward for bringing it straight back. So, next stage is little Berry, teaching her the fun of actually hunting and the fun of actually working, because bless her heart, she didn't know because she's never been shown. That's it. And as I said, this is not about steadiness, good girl. This is not about dropping to a flush or on the whistle or dropping or whatever. Berry, this is purely showing her that these items are fun to play with. Berry, good girl. Good girl. In you come. Circling a little bit. Good girl. And you, mate, are going to be just fine. High loss. There it is. Good girl. Good girl. In we come. In we come. Good girl. Good girl. So, further on little Berry's journey.